Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, November the 10th, 2023. Friday, November the 10th. Not Cliffhanger Friday, but pretty much some action Friday, right? We had some movement, some action going on. Let's dive right into Olivia. Olivia jumped in the water to find her Eddie slash her Nettie, to find her Nettie. And as they left it yesterday, she sees him. She's trying to take him up. She sees his foot's caught. Well, they replayed the whole scene today as if we didn't remember. But okay, I ain't mad at him. But I remember clearly what happened yesterday. So she gets his boot free. She gets him up to the surface. And boy, she's back, you know, backpedaling to get him to the shore. She gets this huge man, drags him on the shore. You know what? Adrenaline can't be beat, right? Because he's a good 200 and some change, right? She's a good, well, maybe not 200 and some change. Maybe he's 190. Nah, I'd say 200 because he's kind of tall and he's thick. She is a buck 20. you know, she's a buck 20. She gets him clear on the sand and he's not breathing. So she turns him on his side and nothing happens. She turns it back over and then her CPR memory kicks in. So she's pressing, pressing, pressing. Then she holds his nose and blows and, pressing, pressing, and he coughs out water. Good. So, she turns him over so the water could really run out and kind of clear. And she goes, Eddie, look at me. She turns him back over, and he looks at her, and he sits up, and he goes, "You saved me. You saved me." She goes, "Of course I would save you. Of course." She goes, "Eddie, I will always save you." And so they hug, and he pulls back from her. He says, "I'm Ned." And she looks at him. She said, "Wait, what?" He goes, "I'm Ned. I remember everything." And she's kind of like, "What? I don't understand. I don't understand." And he's telling her, "Look, it all started coming just my head. Things are, as I'm trying to write this song, my head is getting all jarbled and voices and I jumped in the water because Lois said I needed to jump in the water, right? So he jumps in the water and he says, and then it was the voices were still there. And I look and I see you. He says, I remember. And he was calling her Liv. When he said Liv, I said, oh, that's Ned. Ned calls her Liv, right? And so, she hugs him. She goes, I wanted my husband back. Oh my, she just couldn't believe it that he is back. And then he's saying, you stuck by me through everything, uh, through it all. You supported me and you gave me space. But then, after he was telling her how Lois said, what to do. And so she goes, but he goes, Lois told me to finish the song and that's what started it. She goes, but I've been telling you to finish the song. Was it Lois that brought you back? And he's like, no, why would you say Lois brought me back? He says, no, Olivia. Lois may have given me the idea. She said, since I'm stuck right there at the water, at the sea, and I couldn't move past it, she said, I needed to just go jump in. She said, I didn't come back for Lois, to Lois. I came back for you, to you. And she kisses him and she hugs him, and oh my goodness. And then he says, but see, you accepted me and you would have let me continue to be Eddie Main forever. And then she got offended. And she goes, no, no, I have always wanted you. I've always wanted you, my husband. He goes, no, wait, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Because, remember, she was falling for Eddie. And I guess it was kind of good they didn't make her kiss Eddie, because then Ned would have had some issues with, so you want me to still be Eddie? And it would be no. I got the full package now. I got Eddie and Ned. So I can kiss whichever one I want. And so he said, what happened? He goes, after I had that accident, he says, and I woke up in the hospital. He said, my head was all messed up and things were so confusing and just not familiar to me. He said, so I retreated back to a place that was comforting and familiar to me. And that's when I was Eddie Main. He said there was no corporate world, no family to take care of. I could just be me and I could just be free. And that's what I retreated back to. And you could see the hurt on Olivia's face, because she was taking it as, so you wanted to get away from our family and me, and that's how she was starting to feel about it. And he said, no, Olivia. He said, I did not know who I was, and that's a place I could go to feel free. He said, but he goes, deep down inside, he said, I was there. He said, deep down, I was in there. I just needed the space and time to come out. And so she said, then she asked again about the space. And did Lois have anything to do with it? And he's just like, look, Lois is bad, old news, not bad news, just old, nothing. Come on now. So he says, I'm back to my wife. She goes, and what about your daughter? I'm back to my daughter. What about your son? And he goes, and I'm back to the kid. And which kind of scared me a bit, because he never called Leo the kid. Eddie did. So he goes, no, I'm back. And he says, and I remember it all. As far as, because she goes, how could you remember what happened when you were Eddie? He said, because it's me. He goes, I remember what's happened over these past few months. He says, and I remember how you stood up for me. You supported me. You took on my Tracy for me, And she goes, I will always fight for you. So it's just a real cute little thing. But he says, I am Ned Quartermain, and it's 2022. And she looked at him. She goes, actually, it's 2023. And he goes, no, things are still, he goes, my mind is still sorting itself out. So what that's doing is that's letting us know. Yes, he remembered the accident, waking up at the hospital. He doesn't necessarily remember the accident, but he remember waking up at the hospital. The events leading up to the accident and Nina and all of that haven't come back in yet. But they're going to. They're going to come back in. And I can't wait for that. Because let Nina find out he's got his memories back. She's going to try to get to him. She's going to. Actually, he may not remember about her, but when she interferes, he's going to remember. He's going to remember. So, because guess what? He remembers Eddie May. He remembers Nina wanted him to go out of town and just do you. Right? He remembers that. So that part is going to come back, and look, what's Nina going to be able to say? I don't know. Okay. And now, let me tell you something. Go, Anna. Anna slapped the crap out. She, because she gets there and she says, I figured it out. And she was trying to tell him it was that, Forsyth guy from her past, and somehow she don't know, but she's apologizing. Somehow he's gotten to Charlotte, and he's using Charlotte against me. This is all my fault. And Valentine says, you have it all wrong. She goes, no, I don't. I figured. He goes, you have it all wrong. And I didn't know he was going to actually tell her the truth, and he did. He said, my daughter has been stalking you for months. And she's like, Charlotte? He said, from spray painting murder on your door to burning down, he told her, to burning down your house, to the hotel room. She goes, no, no, I'm telling you that can't be possible, Valentine. It can't, no. And he goes, it is. I've been protecting her. And she goes, you've been what? He goes, I've been protecting her, and I suppose I've been protecting me for not being there for her. He goes, my daughter is truly troubled, and I don't know what she's truly capable of. And Anna said, but what? Wait. She still can't wrap her head. And she goes, and you didn't tell me? And he goes, we took her to Kevin. He goes, she's seen Kevin. And as he's talking, she goes, shut up. And she puts her back, her weight, her everything she's got in that slap so hard. She slapped him so hard, she like hit the wall a bit. Her hand hit the wall, and she had to steady herself. And he was like, oh, good God. Whoa, that little woman, that's a wallop, right? He is lucky she didn't agent, kick, fight, push him down those stairs. She said, what about protecting me? You know how terrified I have been for months. And you didn't tell me it was your daughter? She said, Valentine, I would have never, ever armed myself had I known it was Charlotte doing this. None of this would have happened. He goes, I thought if I could get her into that house and give her some sense of normalcy, that this vendetta or this viciousness she had against you would go away. But it didn't. And she's like, I shot a child. I shot your child. She says, I have to live with this for the rest of my life. And she looked at him. She says, I will never forgive you for this, ever. And he's just like, and she walks out. They were in the stairwell. And she walks out. Now, mind you, Laura's in there talking to Charlotte. Charlotte tells her the whole story. That Victor had come, her grandpa Victor had come to her in boarding school and told her Anna was a danger to her father, that Anna has her father doing all this dangerous stuff, and she lets him take the blame for it, which was not true at all. Victor had Valentine doing all this stuff that he was going to let Valentine take the blame for, right? And he goes, he told me Anna was a double agent. And it was all going to come out soon. Then look, Victor planned on dying, right? Because that's the only way it came out when he died and what he said out there. She says, he told me I had to protect my papa because she has him brainwashed and he listens to everything she says. So it was up to me to protect him. And that's what I've been doing. And she goes, what is it? She found, Laura said he was talking to Anna, and Laura intentionally said Anna to see what response she was going to get out of Charlotte. And that's when Charlotte started telling everything. Anna, no, and she was trying to get up, and Laura said, no, honey, you are going to reopen your wound. No, you have to lay down. And then that's when she started saying, tell me, why do you feel you need to protect your father against from Anna? And that's when the whole story came out. And Laura's thinking, Victor. See, and I'm telling you, there was a trigger. There was a trigger for Charlotte. So we just don't know what it is yet. And she goes, I have a letter. He gave me a letter. It's all in the letter what I needed to do. And she's going to show Laura. And Laura's like, no, honey, no. And in my mind, I'm thinking that letter's probably in your backpack, girl. The police have the letter, right? Because you were wearing a cheerleader costume. It wasn't in your underwear. So it was in your backpack, right? And so anyway, Laura's like, Charlotte, calm down. Your father will be safe. I will make sure of it. He is safe. Anna shot you. It was an accident. No, it wasn't. She saw it was me and she shot me anyway. See, that girl is a vicious liar. How could she know it was you and you had a cloak on your head? See? No. Right? No. So Laura says, you get some rest, honey. Get some rest. So she walks out, and Anna is outside the door trying to telling Elizabeth, I just need to see her for a few minutes. And Elizabeth's like, oh no, you cannot come in and see her. No, absolutely not. And you know what pissed me off with Elizabeth? Her judgmental self talking to Laura, and it pissed me off about Laura. This is before Laura went in. Elizabeth said, how I'm sure it was an accident, Anna shooting Charlotte. But how irresponsible is Anna for carrying a gun on Halloween with kids in costumes, kids jumping out at you? And Laura says, yeah, I know. And I thought, oh my God, Laura, if you don't stand up for your friend, I had just said last week, during the recaps, maybe the week before, Laura was so far like my favorite right now female actress on General Hospital. Well, guess what, y'all? That's changing because Laura's not handling this right at all. Okay, because what Laura should have said, that is dangerous, a gun out on Halloween, but Anna is a trained agent, a skilled marksman. She wasn't going to pull a gun on a trick-or-treater coming up to her door and she got a bowl of candy and they say trick or treat and she looks and says, how about trick, and blows them away. Anna wasn't going to do that. Anna wasn't going to see him walking down the street and start blowing them away. So what are you talking about, Elizabeth? Right? Not a one of those stinking trick-or-treaters was going to break into her house in the dark and try to get, like she said, I thought they were going to get the jump on me. She told Valentine, whoever was in my house, I thought it was an ambush. Yeah. And it really would have. Had Charlotte had that gun, it would have been an ambush. So no, Anna was not irresponsible. Absolutely. There is no way a trick-or-treater is going to start breaking in people's houses, right? Especially those who have been stalked and terrorized. So no, it wasn't Anna's fault, Elizabeth. You who black out and don't know who you killed, Elizabeth, just last year this time. You stabbed Chase. Talk about irresponsible. You weren't telling people the truth about you, Elizabeth. So no, I didn't want to hear from her. And, oh goodness, that pissed me off what she said. right? But either way, Laura says, no, Anna, you cannot get in there. And Anna's like, I just need to speak to her just for a minute. And Valentine is just kind of standing against the wall. And I'm thinking, Valentine, if Laura wasn't there, you gonna let Anna in there? I could tell you that's a bad idea. 100%, right? And Laura says, she is sleeping. And Anna, she feels you shot her on purpose. So she's terrified of you. And Anna looks, and she's kind of shaky now, because one thing Charlotte is, yes, now she's afraid of Anna. It's like she said, I didn't think she would shoot me. Oh, yeah, girl, that's what happens. You playing in the big leagues, Charlotte. You messing according to your grandfather. You messing with a double agent, Charlotte. You're no match. You got a gun, a bullet hole with stitches, and are gonna have a scar to prove it, right? You're no match, Charlotte. But anyway, Laura stopped her from going in, which she should have. There's no way Anna should have went into that room at all. So now we have Spencer. They were supposed to have a double date between Joss and Dex and Spencer and Trina. And Spencer shows up, and Trina could see something was wrong with him. They were just getting there a little late. And Dexus was explaining some horror movie or whatever, and they're kind of making light of it. And Trina could see something was wrong on Spencer's face. She said, Spencer, what happened? And he goes, Esme happened. And Joss and Dex look, and she goes, what do you mean Esme happened? And he looks at Jocelyn, and Dex says, can I speak to Trina alone? So they go into Dex's apartment, right? Although it's interesting. I know that's Dex's apartment, but I also kind of thought, you see where that corner is? Kind of on Joss's left? I kind of thought that used to be another walk. You could walk straight past that way, right? I didn't know it was a corner like that. For sure, the decorum is different. But I think the whole set, as far as the outside, is different, because I kind of think that wall there went straight. You could go past that apartment that way, left and right, past. So anyway, it's here nor there. But I was thinking, that looked different. Where are they? And then when they get inside, I see it's Dex's place. So he's talking to her, and she goes, Esme is getting an apartment. She's taken Ace, and she's moving out, and she has my grandmother on her side. And Trina says, whew, good, it's about time. And he looked at her, and he said, what did you just say? And she looked at him, she said, I said, good, it's about time. And Spencer flips a switch. He's yelling at her, saying, oh, so you feel my brother, my baby brother, who should be taken away from me? Oh, he yelling. And Trina's looking at him like, who do you think you talking to like this? She's looking at him. And Josh comes out, just, hey, Dex, whoa, Spencer, whoa, what is going on out here? Because she's looking like, you're not going to be talking to my best friend like this. And Dex is looking. She goes, we can't disturb the neighbors. Come in. So they come inside the apartment. She goes, you know one thing I've learned about dorm life and apartment life? You have to be considerate of your neighbors. And you know what Spencer said? I don't give up about what the neighbors might think. See, of course you don't, Spencer, because you don't have your own place. You've never been responsible or accountable for anything, Spencer. So of course you don't care. whose spot you might put in jeopardy. Don't matter to you. And so he looks at Trina. He says, this is horrible. You are the one person I thought I could come to and talk to you about it, and you would understand, and you are happy it's happening. She goes, look, let me tell you. She goes, my baby brother is being taken away from me. And she goes, he's not being taken away from you. And the key word is he's your baby brother. Esme and her son are just moving out, Spencer. And Jocelyn says, and think of it this way, though. She's not leaving town with him, Spencer. You will still be able to see him as often as you want. And he goes, that is not the same. Esme will control everything at that point. I will be what? A visitor in my own brother's life. And so she goes, you don't understand. And Dex is like, I do. I was thinking, what? He says it's kind of like a divorce. Now you're going to have to get visitation. She goes, maybe you can get some visitation schedules. And he goes, exactly. And Trina says, this is not like a divorce. He will not be able to give visitation because he is not Ace's father. You're not. He is your brother. She said, let me explain something to you, Spencer. The only way you're going to have any kind of rights is if you and Esme get together and you marry her. See, because now you're going to have some rights. Let me tell you where this is going. Because she says, and now you're going to have some rights. You get with Esme. But my question to you is, what about us? And he goes, I love you, Trina. He goes, I don't want to be with Esme. I love you, Trina. She's like, yeah, but see where this is going, you're not going to be able to have both. And he looked at her and he said, don't make me choose between you and my little brother. You're not going to like the response. She looked at him and she said, well, you know what? Let me save you the trouble. It's over. I'm out of here. I don't know that she said it's over. I kind of think she did say it's over. I'm out of here. Because she goes, let me save you the trouble. And she snatches her purse and walks out, and he turns around looking like, why don't anybody? See, Spencer doesn't understand. His grandmother even told him the exact same thing before he went to Trina. And you have the nerve to be spouting the same thing? The nerve? It's over between those two. And it should be. As it should be. It should be over. Because he's going to go overboard. He is going to get with Esme. And then he's going to tell Trina, no, I'm pretending. We'll be able to sneak. No, are you out your mind? Are you out of your mind? Get out of here with that. And no, I won't be waiting for you 18 years from now when the laces grow. No. So now we have, let's see. Oh, this is kind of on the lighter, cuter note. Curtis and Drew are having dinner at the Metroport, catching up as best buds because they haven't caught up. Alexis was waiting for Christina. Christina was late as usual. Blaze got her appointment, the person that was meeting her there, canceled. So she was walking out. She recognized Alexis and she introduced herself. She's, I'm a friend of Christina's and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, yeah, I have heard your name. Okay, so they're talking and Alexis, Blaze sits down and they're talking. So when Christina finally comes in. She sees the two, and she's initially thinking, "What's my mother doing with Blaze? What's going on here? Suspicious." And she walks over. I didn't know you two knew each other. And Alexa says, "No, we don't. But Blaze saw me, recognized me, and she came up and introduced herself to me." She goes, "And we've just been talking." And they were talking about some genre, that they were getting caught up on, some kind of genre that they were talking about. And so Blaze says, "Oh, well, you know what?" She says, "No." Blaze stands up. She goes, "Well, I'll let you too, you know, get to your dinner." And Alexa says, "Wait a minute. You're here. Christina's here 45 minutes late." And Christina looks at her and she says, "Why don't we all have dinner together?" And Blaze is like, "Really? Okay." So they're talking, and then, it comes up about Luke. What's his name? Luke, not Luke. The bad guy, the harasser. I can't think of his name right now. It's completely slipped my mind. Oh, whatever. We all know the sleazeball that was her manager. And she was saying, how it began and how she thought she was new. Her career was just getting started, and she felt that maybe that was dues she had to pay, and so she didn't say anything. And so then Alexis was asking her, maybe your story needs to be told. She goes, "It wasn't until later that, I'm cornered, I'm trapped, that I'm finding out I wasn't the only one, because Brooklyn, you know." And she says, "And then, it's all out at the nurses' ball. Link, maybe it was Link was his name." And so Christina says, "Oh, what a great idea. Mom can feature you in an expose in The Invader." And so Alexis says, "Wow, would you be willing to go on the record and tell your story talking about, sexual harassment in the music industry and your experience?" And so she goes, "Well, she says, I don't know that I necessarily want to bring that kind of press on me." And so Alexis says, "Look," she saw Drew and Curtis talking. She goes, "I see some friends over at the next table. I want to go talk to them, give you two a chance to talk," right? So she goes and she joins Curtis and Drew, and they're talking and blah, blah, blah. She stays over there until they get their dinner food. And then that's when she goes back to Christina and Blaze. And in the meantime, Christina was just saying, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have it bad with, you know, pushing ideas out there without I should have talked to you first and not put it out there in front of my mother. I do that and I apologize." And Blaze says, "No, no, I hear what you're saying. You're passionate about the things that you do." And so all Christina said is, like you said, you felt that's the dues you had to pay. Other women are going through the same thing, feeling that that's the dues they have to pay. So by you standing out or up, you could be helping someone out of that very situation. And she said, it was on live TV where Brooklyn stood up and they outed Link. She says, "So it's not like it's a secret what happened to me. Everybody knows." She says, "It is out there." She says, "So you know what?" And Alexis comes back and Blaze says, "I'm in. I'll do it." Because it's not like everybody, people don't already know. But if I can help someone, Christina got me to see that I could help someone telling my story. And that's what I want to do. And so she says, "I got to make a quick phone call." So Blaze gets up from the table and Christina looks at Alexis and says, "So what do you think, about a friend?" And she goes, "I think she likes you." And Christina said, "Yeah, I like her too. She's cool." She goes, "No, I think she likes you. And Christina looked at her like, huh? You know? So Alexis is the first to see it. Yeah, I seen that spark in Blaze's eyes. But, Christina hasn't had real good experiences and, wasn't really out there looking for a relationship. But you know what? That's when the best ones tend to come to you, when you're not looking for it. You're not pursuing somebody and they don't return. So they're developing a little friendship. Leave it like that. Let it just develop. And then we see where it goes. So that was real cute. And that pretty much was it. Nothing else happened today. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. LaShunta says, everyone wants Esme gone. Let her live. Esme needs her money. Felicia, stop it. Stella, really, again, like telling that story, the one that got away. I'm so sick of that. Cody couldn't stop looking at Sasha. Watch her when she sees Cyrus. I don't want to see that, right? LaShunta also says, I'm glad the amnesia is over. Ned got his memory back. I'm glad Lois is staying. Lucy, Lucy will hate that. I hope she gives Maxie half of those shares. Charlotte's still lying. Nina still upholding her. She is. I can't wait until the truth comes out. I can't stand Nina. Remember, when she was bullying Jake, Nina swept that under the rug. Anna, mind's not clicking. She's going to spray paint Anna's new place. She sure was. Spencer couldn't stop Esme from leaving, or can't stop Esme from leaving. Why Laura handles Spencer with kid gloves? Well, because he's hothead, he's an adult, and she's trying to get through to him. Look, he's like his father, this version of his father, stupid and a hothead. She couldn't get through to her own son. So Spencer's gonna be Spencer. But I did say, wait, why did you come looking for Charlotte at my place? P. Murrow says, Val has chosen his daughter. He will lie for her and throw Anna under the bus. I hope Kevin will will be the voice of reason here. The bottom line here is Charlotte needs help. Yes, she does. Anna does not deserve to be sacrificed for defending herself. Val and Anna are over. And yeah, as of today's episode, she ain't gonna be sacrificed because he told her the truth. Right? It is Charlotte. Laura better step up too. I am, and tell Anna and Valentina about Victor together. No more leaving Anna in the dark, folks. No more. I am says Ned is going to expose Nina unless Michael and Drew talk him out of it. Why would Drew talk Ned out of exposing Nina? Nope. Drew was saying stop digging for that. Stop trying to put the effort in finding this person. Ned's just gonna tell him who it is, right? Olivia will tell Carly, let the good times roll. I'm back to disliking Elizabeth. Why would she have all the people talk bad about Anna? I know, I don't like that. Elizabeth, you've done so much dirt. How irresponsible are you? You put you thought dead body in a freezer in the hospital, the basement. Get out of here, Elizabeth. My son will be proud. All the bad press you brought on your kids. It's amazing Cameron turned out the way he did. Sonny, Jason, Anna, Sam, and Carly have all saved their behinds and still gets crap on it. Wait, what are you talking? All the people talking about Anna. I didn't quite understand that part. I am. User says, I agree with you. The nerve of her to judge someone, can't stand her. Yep. Linda says, I love the fact that the writers did not drag out the Charlotte story out. I know. Dante knows that Charlotte had Anna's keys and Charlotte had the red colored paint. I hope Anna presses charges against Charlotte. She won't do that. So Charlotte can get the mental help she needs. because it ain't no telling what Victor did to that girl. I know, Lordy. If she doesn't get help, Charlotte just may use poison the next time. I know. Anna has to look at this as a threat to her life because if Anna lets her guard down, the 15-year-old girl will just finish the job. Well, here's the thing, the police are involved. All that evidence they have in that backpack, period. Charlotte should get some charges, whether Anna presses charges or not. The police have because Anna reported the spray paint of her house. The burning down of her house has been reported. They just can't 100% link Charlotte to that, right? And Anna reported her room being broken in and all of that. So it's going to be good. I mean, it's enough for Charlotte to be forced into some type of teen help by a judge. Jane says Tracy is going to be there, Bobby's going to die, and Luke is going to be there alive. I don't know about Luke being alive, but I believe they're going to finally write Bobby's story. Linda says, for as long as the character Bobby Spencer has been on General Hospital, only Jackie Zeman played the part. I can't remember anyone else playing that part. It's like the part was only for her. I know, right? Yeah, I think she's been the only one. I am says I would love for Luke to come back. You're right. Heather, Nicholas, Victor, Carly, Edward, and Monica have all had others, but not Bobby. Well, because for one, her parts were never long enough that, or storylines that they couldn't work around her absences. I mean, Bobby's character would be gone for years, and then you'd all of a sudden see her at the nurse's station. So it was easy for her to be gone for long time. Oh, and then Jane says Tracy is on the show. Yeah, have they ever had a replacement Tracy though? I kind of think there may have been a time that they had a replacement Tracy, but for a hot minute, right? Cindy says 2 splits and a reunion. Spencer had no right to yell at the others just because he's upset with Esme and Laura. Trina dumped him. Valentine confessed to Anna, who slapped and dumped him. Eddie took a swim and reverted to Ned. New York was sweet, but not real life. If Spencer and Trina don't use birth control, they should have. I know, because then Trina will be pregnant and this one will be his. What would he do? What would he do? And she may want to have, no, anyway, I ain't getting into that because we don't know that they're going to go there. I'm hoping she did because they knew what they were going to do there. So somebody would have had birth control. I'm happy they will get to the bottom of this Anna thing. If La Petite got her butt spanked, she wouldn't have a hole. She wouldn't have a hole in it. Nina, it has bigger problems. Can't now wait until Tracy finds out. Ned is back. IDC. I'm confused. Spencer has a thing for Esme. That is going nowhere. He doesn't have a thing for Esme, but he feels he can control everybody's life, and he's too young for that. And actually, truth be told, I think Esme is older than him. That's how she was able to manipulate him. And then Ron says that in theory, there's no way around if Charlotte did break into Anna's place with stolen keys, which is a crime. Plus, she's incriminated herself with the red spray paint in her backpack. If Anna hadn't caught her, she would have done it. Yep. Lucy says Amanda Shelton, the actress who plays Brooklyn on General Hospital, she's 37 years old. Yeah. Okay. The actress. Oh, okay. So the character of Brooklyn, I don't know how old she is. I'd have to do some digging and look that up. Sabrina says, "Hi, daily recap lady. Love the recap. I know everyone thinks it will be Ned that exposes Nina first, but I now think it Nina will help Valentine cover up what Charlotte did in Anna's room and destroy evidence. Well, she already did that. Now it is a crime she did." Comment. Just thoughts. I know she's so busy on Carly and Drew committed a crime. So they should face the consequences. Okay, Nina, face your consequences now. And then Linda says, "I agree." Well, that's it for Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I will be back on Monday with another daily recap of General Hospital.